Mike and Dan both landed the exact same job at 22. They have the same business degrees, the same starting roles at a mid-sized tech firm, and the exact same starting salary of $60,000 a year. Fast forward 10 years, they are both pulling in a very comfortable $150,000. On paper, they completely won the American dream. But yesterday, Dan walked into his manager's office, handed over his laptop, and quit to start a quiet consulting gig working 20 hours a week. Meanwhile, Mike sat in his cubicle, his chest tight with anxiety, knowing he absolutely despises his job, but cannot afford to lose it. How do two guys making the exact same six-figure salary end up with completely different lives? To figure out why Mike is miserable and Dan is free, you have to look past the paycheck and look at the parking lot. When Mike got his first promotion to $90,000, he celebrated. He traded in his old sedan for a leased Audi. He worked hard, so he deserved it, right? Then came the jump to $120,000. That meant moving out of his apartment and taking on a massive mortgage in a neighborhood with slightly better schools. Now at $150,000, he has the house, the car, the backyard renovations, and a very expensive country club membership to network with his neighbors. His life looks amazing on Instagram. But Mike isn't living his life. He is just funding it. Every time he gets a bonus, he finds a brand new bill to eat it up. He's stressed, he's tired, and his job feels like a pressure cooker. But he can't walk away. If he misses even 2 paychecks, his entire house of cards collapses. Dan took a totally different route. When Dan got those exact same promotions, he drove the same beat-up Honda. He bought a house, sure, but it was 20% below what the bank said he could afford. He simply didn't care what his neighbors thought. Mike thought the whole point of making more money was to buy better stuff. Dan knew the actual point of making more money was to buy back his time. What Mike is experiencing is a completely silent epidemic. It is called the golden handcuffs. We are all fed this lie that a high income automatically equals financial freedom. But your income isn't your wealth. Your income is just the water flowing into a bucket. If you keep drilling bigger holes in the bottom of that bucket by constantly upgrading your lifestyle, you will never actually fill it up. The golden handcuffs happen when you let your overhead rise to exactly match your income. You get a 10% raise, you increase your spending by 10%. You trap yourself in a high-stress role because your baseline survival now requires a 6-figure salary just to keep the lights on. It is the ultimate trap. You feel guilty complaining because you know you are successful. You make way more than your parents ever did. You have the nice house, but you actually have way less autonomy than when you were making $60,000.
Back then, your expenses were so low, you could have quit and worked at a coffee shop if you had to. Now, you are locked in. You built a beautiful, incredibly expensive prison, and you handed your boss the key. So how do you break the cuffs? You don't have to sell your house and move into a van, but you do need a massive mindset shift starting today. It is called the 50% freeze. From this moment on, anytime you get a raise, a bonus, or a tax refund, you freeze 50% of it. You pretend it doesn't even exist. You automatically route half of that new money straight into investments, savings, or paying down your debt. You can use the other half to inflate your lifestyle. Go ahead, take the vacation, buy the nicer shoes. But by freezing half of your new income, you instantly create a gap. And that gap between what you earn and what you spend, that is the exact place where your freedom actually grows. Over a few short years, that gap becomes a massive emergency fund. Then it becomes walkaway money. Then it becomes the ultimate ability to say no to a job you hate. Making $150,000 a year is completely pointless if you wake up dreading Monday morning. Real wealth isn't the car in your driveway or the zip code you live in. Real wealth is having the option to control your own time. Don't build a lifestyle you can't afford to escape.
If this completely changed how you look at your paycheck, hit that subscribe button. We talk about real strategies to build wealth and buy back your freedom every single week. I'll see you in the next one.